friends. That is, I think, the first vlog episode of 2025. And now I've been slacking a little bit, but I was just too busy at work. So I'll try to be better now, as there are so many things going on in the garden week by week now that I have plenty of topics I want to share with you. Nevertheless, can't promise that I'm coming out every week now again with a vlog, but that is what I'm attempting to. I also try to make them slightly more interesting with a little bit more B-roll sprinkled in here and there. So let me know if you like it, or let me know if you want to see something else. In the end, I'll do those vlogs for you and want to keep them as interesting as possible. Today's Sunday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Always in for a good joke. How I want to handle the vlog this year is having a little bit of a past view on the past week, what I did, and a little preview of what I'm going to do with the upcoming week, so that you, if you're local here around, and I know most of you are, that you have a good idea of what I'm doing in my garden and when. So that's the idea. So what I've done this week was a lot of preparation. Luckily, I wasn't traveling last week, nor am I traveling the upcoming week, but the following weeks afterwards, I'm traveling both weeks. So I always need to keep that in mind when I'm planning my tasks. We had a lot of nice weather under the week, which was helpful, because what I started to do is to roll out of bed into my overalls and just go in the garden like at 6:30 and do like an hour or two in the garden, then get showered and be ready for work at like 8:30 or 9 for my remote job, which works out very, very well. And this was the best decision I've ever made, because I always want to do something after work in the evening, now that we have light in the evenings, but I just don't have energy at the end of the day, no matter what I do and how busy the day is. No energy past 5 p.m. So it's a lot easier for me to just get it out in the beginning of the day. And it's just such a nice way to start the day, with like birds chirping and just being alone and quiet in the garden outside. I just love it. So I'll keep doing that whenever I have some things to do, or just enjoy. I would like to say I would sit here in the mornings, but that is one thing which I can never do in the mornings, because the chairs and anything which you could sit has always like a thick layer of morning moisture on it. So it's just not like the morning dew. It's just not working. I would wish I could sit here in the mornings with my cup of coffee and enjoy it. So that's the only thing I'm not doing in the mornings. But what I've done in the mornings the past week is finishing up the amendments. So like getting all the soil and the beds prepped. The only thing I haven't done yet is, which I do a little bit more closer to when I'm actually planting out, like my cut flowers and my veggies, which is still like 3 weeks out for me, is putting in the amendments based on the soil test. So that I typically do like a week or so before, to let them just settle in. But I don't want to put them too early in the soil, because we do get some good rain next week, for example. So I don't want them to get washed away. So what else did I do? I completely finished the redo of my herb box. You might have heard me talking in one of the other previous videos that I think I got spider mites end of last summer, because it switched last year in August to a very, very dry summer for us before, and it was super wet. And then the moisture stopped until the end of the year, basically, which we've seen before here. It's just weird how the weather swings for us sometimes. But I think I had spider mites and just didn't realize it until it was too late. And a few of my herbs plants were already dead. So I just didn't want to take a chance with that, and completely emptied the box out, removed all the soil, got rid of all the plants, and treated the box with neem oil, which just helps if there are like any eggs or anything dormant sitting around the box or in the box. That takes care of it, and it is an organic measure. But so I filled it up with fresh new soil and got some really cute herb plants from one of our local nurseries. Level Acres Farms has always a really, really great selection. So I'm super excited for that. So that has been all set up. And I used a few of my Verideck planters to get the mint plants also a little bit less unruly. So they have been split up and just refreshed a little bit in those new planters as well. So I think they will do just great. I have also decided, like, if you follow me on Instagram, I was asking, I had one Veridac planter left, um, a more sizable one from the ones I ordered, and wanted to put something in the corner of our front steps, next to our kitchen door, which is our main entrance, or which we use as our main entrance to the house in most cases. And I had a survey going on my Instagram stories to see what would people recommend me to put there, and I had really great suggestions, like another dwarf peach tree, a Japanese maple, some canna lilies, and a few other suggestions like this. And I was like, oh, I kind of was thinking about a Japanese maple. I always wanted one, but I think the heat coming off the house, being so close to the house and being in a pretty much full sun spot, I just didn't want to fry that poor thing. So in the end, I settled for another David Austin shrub rose, which I planted also yesterday. So I'm really excited for this one. So it's like odds and ends to like finishing and buttoning up everything for gardening season. I also was able to give my patio a quick paint yesterday. I would call it putting lipstick on a pick, but it turns out a pick with lipstick looks good. I didn't want to sand it or anything, because it's deteriorating, and it's deteriorating fast now in the fourth season, unfortunately. So I just wanted it to not look so bad. So I'm actually pleased how well it turned out. It looks better than I thought it would. So that was definitely a little satisfying paint job. And then what I'm doing in the upcoming week. So I'm starting hardening off this week, although we got to see how that works with all the rain we've forecasted. The good thing is I'm at home this week, so I can just check on the plants regularly. So they should be all fine and good. A few other bits and pieces which I'm doing is starting my potatoes today. That's actually the video I'm recording after this one here. And yeah, I'm excited for my potatoes. When you talk vegetable gardening, everyone is always like talking about the tomatoes and the peppers. I'm also very excited about the potatoes, and might be my German heritage, but I just love a homegrown potato. They taste so much better than anything what you buy in the stores. I know it's typically the way when you grow your own fresh food, but I just love them, and I'm really excited to get them going. It's always a little bit of an effort with all the soil you move into those soil bags, but yeah, watch out for this video coming out. And if you're curious to just see all of my full May plan, what I'm doing and when, in a compacted form, check out this video here. I just put that one out like a few days ago, and it has all the details on what I'm planning to do in May. Yeah, then one other little thing which I'm going to do is I'm going to replace on my squash tunnel the netting, because it has some holes on the bottom. Unfortunately, Gardener Supply didn't have any replacement netting in stock, so I'm trying the netting which I always used here for my flowers as like stabilizing netting, because it's the same size and should fit. We'll see. We'll test it. Otherwise, I get it in a little bit wider format or so. But that was actually what Gardener's Supply recommended me when I sent them an email, if they have still some netting hiding somewhere. But yeah, so, and why I like to like always like take it off at least like once a year is like at the end of the past season, I had powdery mildew, blight, and like all kinds of diseases going on. So I don't want to carry over diseases from last year into this year. So typically all my trellises get like wiped down with some bleach. And the netting I always had soaking in some bleach solution, and like a 10-to-1 part, so 10 parts water, 1 part bleach solution, to just let it sit there for a couple hours to ensure that there are no pathogens from like last year's diseases in the garden. I do this also with my tomato cages. They get a good wipe just to ensure that I'm not carrying over last year's problems. Might be a little bit extra effort, but as you know, I'm all for simplicity, but anything what can save me work later is something what I like to do up front. And on this vein is we're going to apply our beneficial nematodes under the week or next weekend. Going to order them on Tuesday. We'll see when they arrive. They're usually shipped overnight because they're like living organisms. So they always ship very, very fast. So we'll see when we have time for that. But yesterday when I was crawling around to get the deck here painted, I saw so many ticks. And last year we didn't treat the lawn because we didn't see a tick at all and skipped a year. So now I'm kind of regretting that we skipped a year, but we'll do that this year again, and I will record that too. I got already a bunch of comments on the other videos that you guys want to see it, so hold tight and steady for that. That should be out in a couple of weeks. Yeah, other than that, I was just meeting with my friend Steven at Blue Stem Nursery, who have native plants, and picked up some native plants because my OG flower bed I want to put in, or I want to transform it in mostly to a perennial bed that I don't have so much work to do with that. Not that it's much, but it adds up, right? And if you don't have much time anymore, besides like the main garden, I'll try to be smart with what I planned. So I picked up some native plants, like a little bit of spirea, some foxglove, and some other native varieties, which hopefully look beautiful and will come back year after year and just don't create much work for me. So we'll see about that. But I'm excited for those ones. Yeah, so I hope you like that the vlog is back. Let me know what you're up to. If you have any questions or comments, I love to chat with you in the comments. And then otherwise, I'll see you next week.